Ghanaians. So what the fuck going on with all you Ghanaians and your unpopular?
Hey, Kunga said, hey, come here. Hey, aluminium boy, head watcher, come here. Let me educate you. Today, I'm forgiving you, but let me educate you. See, Ghana has so many languages, and the dominated language is Akan language, comprises of over all the cities. And I can tell you on authority, 95% of Ghanaians can speak the Akan language, and we have so many languages. But let me tell you this. See, we all recognize, I see the slavery effect which has impacted on your brain. That is why you are behaving this way. But I can see as a young boy, you don't have information. Now, let me tell you some of this. You see why you're talking about Akan language? Because it's a popular language, and it's going to be important. And let me tell you this. Most of Africans, we feel ashamed to even speak English because this is not our language, and we all recognize where it came from. So if you don't know, let me tell you, how would you feel one day when you wake up and you see a language from Africa, from your own people, dominated the whole world? Or how will you feel? You got to think about that, bro. A young man, we have to think about that, because I know all this social media or this tech giant, they will allow this nonsense to go on because it's against your own people. But when you touch the Jews, they are going to take you down. But they are not going to do that. But let me educate you here. See, we know how this America and the British dominated all these countries in Africa. And I'm going to tell you that maybe you are from Freetown or Liberia. And we understand how the America destroyed the minds of our people over there. So I can see the mental slavery dreadlock in your mind, and I can see the epidemic, that the poison that the British or the America gave to our people over there. We understand that, so we know you are still living in this same problem. But let me tell you, you have to come home, okay? Come home, come to Kumasi. They give you fufu. When you eat fufu or you eat akpole or tiozafe, your brain will start to come home, and you start to recognize where you're from. That's what I'm telling you. We feel ashamed to speak English because this is not our language. This is just a dominated language, and we are proud to speak our language, the Gan, the Ewe, the Ashanti, the Akan. And I'm telling you, in Ghana, 94% can speak one language, and this is the future, and we are thinking of it. We always remember this. We will never forget ourselves. So, young man, I know you are from Liberia or any other. Still, we recognize this mental slavery epidemic that the Europeans or the America have infested in your brain. And we can see, you see your chain, it reminds us the chains that they used to tie our people back then. So you have to come home, okay? Let us reason. You have no idea. You don't understand why you're speaking English. And the reason why I'm going to speak the same English to you is that's where you can understand me. And I promise you, one day, Akan language is going to also dominate. And that's why I ask you a question. How would you feel one day you wake up and a language from Africa, Ghana, Akan language, has dominated the whole planet? How would you feel? And let me ask you this. If you want to learn, ask yourself, the first day that British tried to push their language, which countries were speaking the English? So it tells you your language or a country or a language from Africa will also emerge, and they can also push around the globe. So don't be proud of speaking English. And in fact, the type of English that you are speaking, I don't think any Ghanaian want to speak that type of English, okay? Even no Ghanaian would prefer to have this kind of your accent, and because we know it is not your language, so you can just speak for someone to just understand you. That's all. The rest is by your blood, and Akan language, Cree language is a blood. This is the blood of me, and we cannot leave it outside. So it's better to come home and then we educate you, because you have no history, you have no education, you have no training from your family. So that's why you are behaving that. And you think you are creating content, but it is good to destroy your own self. That is why you are able to do that. Now, young man, let me tell you this. When you live in America or you live in any country, then you see the Chinese and the Spanish, do you think they would behave the way you are behaving? Do you think they will do that? No, they won't do that, because they recognize themselves. And don't feel proud of speaking somebody's language. Just speak for them to understand you. That's all, period. Don't feel proud for speaking English. This is not your language. It came by a surprise, and you must recognize your language. So from today, If you see this video, I am advising you to go back and start to speak your own language. And that's why I told you, I know maybe you are from Liberia, and we understand the trauma, the negative impact that America and then this British infested in the brains of our people over there. We know all these things. So we can blame you too much. But hey, if you think you are learning, you have to learn something better, okay? You should understand this and stop doing these contents. You think you are hurting your own people, and it might come hate you one day. You better learn how to attack back. Learn to push back the bad narrative against Liberia. You have to start creating that content. Don't destroy your own self. Because speaking good English does not give you development. Speaking good English does not recalibrate your mindset, your brain, your mental slavery. It doesn't unlock the padlock that the British or the America infested in the minds of most Liberians, okay? We know all this, and it hurts me because you are mine. You belong to my blood. Don't fool, okay? Because they will allow you to do that. But when you did this to the Jews or any other race, the video will have been taken. So you see the reason why when they set a platform was to destroy ourselves, okay? So you have to learn and feel ashamed whenever you are speaking with even good English, because the last time I checked, the America don't care about your language, the British don't care about your language, the Chinese don't care. Even the last time I checked, even the Vietnamese or the Taiwanese or the Bangladeshi doesn't want to care about any language that you are speaking. So you see how it works. This is the power. When somebody dominates the whole entire continent with the language of that country, you continuously become a slave. So young boy, let me ask you, do you feel to want to continue the slave tactics? That's a question for you. And the Ashanti or the Akans in Ghana will always be Akans. Our way of life will continue to prevail, and no one can change that. Take it or leave it. If you want to learn, come home, come back. As I told you, Ghana, 95% can speak Akan language, and this is the way for. This is the future that we are looking for. That one day we will speak one language and we will understand ourselves, as what the Chinese are doing. Chinese have so many languages, but they chose a Mandarin, which is able to unite the people. This is what we are looking for. It's not about speaking somebody's language. Speaking somebody good English does not show that you are intelligent. You see, does not give you development. It's all come from the brain. So when you dream and you understood yourself but in your own language. So I feel ashamed when even I'm speaking English. That's why we prefer to even speak broken English, and then we'll develop confidence in speaking our own language. And Akan language, Tree is one of the Akan language. And we will continue to speak Tree everywhere. We will dominate. If you don't know, let me tell you, Akans will dominate one day. Don't fool. Don't expose yourself. You see, anybody watching this video will see that the slave chains is still manipulating your brain. Come home, my young brother. Come home. Come to Kumasi. Come to Accra and eat kenke and sheto, and your brain will start to work. You start to realize and knowing yourself. Come and eat akpele, eat wasabi. Your mind will start to work because you are the Akan citizen. You are a Ghanaian. You are an African. Don't fool. Okay. Don't allow them to use you. Don't disgrace yourself. Don't let them see that you are against your own race. Don't do that. Start to chase them. Start to do content against with the way you are even behaving. It is somebody who did that to you. Start doing create a content for that. Why we are behaving that way? It is the cause of the Europeans or the America. Chase them. Don't chase your own people. Okay? This is the reason. So I want you to reason with me, my young boy. Okay? Don't let slavery dominate your brain. And Akan and the Tree language will always prevail. And everywhere we will dominate. We will push. So if you're anybody who thinks you want to speak English rather than allowing your own people to dominate their language, you are a loser. Anybody think that Akan language is dominating, so they will find all means to bring Akan language or Tree down, you are a loser because you cannot fight the blood. And this blood will dominate one day. The Tree language, the Akan language comprises so many people in Ghana will one day take over. And don't forget, Ghana is a center stage of the whole ball game. Ghana is a center stage, and we will set the stage for the African people. So if you have a local language, speak it, period.